Yes, get in. Absolutely get in. Newcastle United 2, West Bromwich Albion 1. It's another 3 points. It was certainly an up and down rollercoaster game as we expect with Newcastle, but it's 3 points nonetheless. This is the Toon Review. Hi everyone, I'm Paul. Welcome to the Toon Review straight after the match today between Newcastle United and West Brom at St James's Park. Newcastle United coming out 2-1 winners today in what was a bit of a topsy-turvy game, to be fair. 1 minute, we're all going ballistic thinking, why are we sitting back? The next minute, we're elated again because we scored a really, really good winning goal. And to be fair, for the last 20 minutes, we played really well. And I was very, very happy with the performance, which for me, is a lot different sitting here doing a Newcastle United video saying, it was nice to see us go on the attack for the last 20 minutes, which we did. But we'll come on to that. We didn't know what kind of team Steve Bruce was going to have or was going to be available to him or what the tactics were going to be today. So when we saw the team, I immediately thought, well, that's a good enough team lineup to beat West Brom. I really did. And we went with Darlow in goal. We've got Kraft at right back. Isaac Hayden deputising in centre-back position because of the injuries and COVID. And then we had alongside him Kieran Clark, Jamal Lewis left back. In the middle, we had Sean Longstaff and John Joe Shelvey. On the right was Miggy. On the left, Richie. And playing off Wilson was Joe Linton. And obviously Wilson up front. And I looked at that team and I thought, we've got good enough players on that pitch to cause West Brom a problem. I didn't expect us to cause such a problem so early in the game. 20 seconds in, Joe Linton plays it across. Nice little ball to Miggy. He does the rest and finishes it. Now, for me, this is the downside of the game because when we scored, after West Brom's hammering they got last week off Palace, their heads would have been down straight away. And that would be an opportunity for Newcastle to get on the front foot and go at them for the rest of the half. Get a few goals in front. Really make them suffer. But we didn't. We do what we always do and sit back and let them have the ball. I do not know why Steve Bruce looks at those situations and thinks, right, this is how we're going to play. We're going to sit back and let them have the ball. Why? Utilise our players up front, who, the likes of Callum Wilson, who I thought was absolutely outstanding today. The way he held the ball up, the way he ran at defenders, the way he worked his arse off was incredible. And I was a bit frustrated, to be honest, in the first half because there was times Wilson was running at the defenders and he was looking up to see who was running at the box. And, you had Joe Linton just trotting in. That's where he needs to improve his game. If that was Wilson, he'd have been busting a gut to get into a position to score. But Joe Linton doesn't do that. He always just jogs into the box. He doesn't create a threat, if you know what I mean. I want to see him bursting in there. But there was nobody else for Wilson to pass to. And that was really frustrating because you think you've got a player as talented as Wilson, but there's just nobody up giving him a hand. Miggy, I thought, had a tremendous first half. I must admit, he was running his balls off in that first half. He was everywhere. He was working. He played really well today, Miggy. And he needed that. He needed a good game because of the last few that he's played. He hasn't been at his best. But credit where credit's due. He worked his arse off. And it got to half-time and I thought, right, Steve Bruce might look at this and think, right, I'm going to make a change here. We can go on the front foot. These are not a good side. And that's no disrespect to West Brom, but they are going to be fighting relegation this season, without a shadow of a doubt. And the commentators, just before West Brom scored, said that, Bilic hadn't been backed in the summer by the board. He had to go with his championship side, or most of it. They are good players, but they are championship good players. Apart from one or two. I thought Gallagher was outstanding today for West Brom. He certainly ran Shelvey and Longstaff ragged in that first half. He was a threat. And West Brom, when they scored, I sat back and thought, Bruce just hasn't learned his lesson at all. And Jamal Lewis, I don't know what he was doing. The ball comes across. And in the Premier League or in any football match, you don't wait for the ball to come to you. You go and you get the ball. But he stood there and the West Brom player just thought, he's not even going for it. I'm going to get this ball. And it was a good finish, to be fair, into the corner. And it's 1-1 and you're thinking, here we go again. We've been pegged back and we're not going to get the 3 points. Because 10 minutes after they scored, for that 10 minutes, West Brom looked like the team that was going to win the game. Undoubtedly. And looking on Twitter, I'm not the only one that thought about that because so many Newcastle fans were so annoyed because we were letting them play all the time. But then, this is where I want to pay credit to Steve Bruce because normally in the past I've completely disagreed with his substitutions. But not today. He brings on Gayle and he brings on Murphy. And for me, that changes the game. Because we had so many attacking options on the pitch. It was just so nice for us to get the ball and go hunting for a goal. And then that ball that Murphy puts in, what a header from Gayle, but what a ball. And as a striker, you just love balls like that coming into the box. You just absolutely thrive on it. And it was right on his head. And to be fair, Gayle did brilliantly. Got it in front of Ivanovic, and the header goes in off the underside of the bar. It's 2-1, and we're back in front, somehow. But then for the rest of the game, I think we were on the front foot. Personally, I think we played very well. We played the game out very well. We looked like we could score a few more goals. We didn't get the chances that I thought we should have, to be fair. But, I was pretty happy with the last 20 minutes of the game. So it was definitely a roller coaster game again, but it tends to be with Newcastle United. But what I wanted Steve Bruce to do from now is think to himself, wow, that last 20 minutes, we were so much better when we went on the front foot. And when I give these attacking players license to go forward and do what they do best, we look like a different team. And we did. We were so different. And then when we go to Leeds this week, I just pray to God he doesn't think, Leeds are attacking side, I best go back to me defensive roots. He needs to think, right, I'm going to change this here. I'm going to give our attackers license to do what they do best and score goals. And I'm sure we can win the game at Leeds if we play in that attacking sense. Yes, there's going to be times where we're on the back foot, but that happens in football. You don't dominate for full 90 minutes, or you don't if you're Newcastle United. But rather than sit back, because we don't have the players to sit back for 90 minutes. We are far better when we actually try and score goals and win games. We look a different team. And we've got the likes of Murphy, Ritchie, ASM, Wilson, Joe Linton to a degree, Fraser. We've got so many attacking options. Once all this COVID crap's out the way, let's try and win the game. And then we've got Fulham at the weekend. These two games now are massive. Absolutely massive for Newcastle, because if we can get 6 points out of these two games, what a position that's going to put us in over Christmas. But it's all down to the manager and how he approaches these two games. Does he think we need to defend against Leeds and Fulham? Or does he think, I've learned something today, I'm actually going to try and go attacking, because we do look a different team. Now, experience tells you that Steve Bruce won't do that because he's a stubborn arse and won't try and, he's got his set ways. And, that's where the dinosaur comes in, because he doesn't want to change it, or he doesn't have the ability to change it, or tell players, this is how we're going to do it. And that's the worry about Steve Bruce as manager. We know if the club gets taken over or whatever, he is not the man to take us forward. But the bottom line is, at the minute, he is our manager and looks like he's going to be for the foreseeable future. So he must be thinking to himself, right, this is an opportunity for me to try and change it and try and win some fans over by going a bit more attacking and seeing us in the top half of the table. Because if he does that and he gets us in the top half of the table playing better football, then I tell you what, he might just win a few people round. We know he's not the answer long term, but this is the short term I'm talking about. Take the shackles off the strikers, Steve, and let them do the business up front. Give them the chances. We've got an international class striker in Wilson who is just dominant when he plays. And personally, I think him and Gayle could actually hit it off as a pairing up front. But that we'll see in due course about that. But I just really want us to go on the front foot. Play a bit more attacking football, because we are a better side when we do that. And let the defenders defend when they need to, but not have to defend for 90 minutes of a football match. Let them defend when they come forward. But when we get the ball, let's go at teams. Let teams fear us for once instead of us fearing them all the time. That's my view. That's just my view, but I think a lot of fans might agree with me on that. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you want Steve Bruce, for these next 2 games, to take the shackles off the strikers and actually go for it? Because I certainly do. Let me know who you think was man of the match. Personally, Callum Wilson for me all day long. Even though he didn't score, I thought he was superb today. Miggy was just behind him. I thought Miggy was tremendous as well. Shelvey needs to pull his finger out a little bit. Sometimes he gets the ball and he just punts it, and I don't know why. 1 minute he'll play an absolutely magnificent pass. The next minute, when he can't be bothered, he just punts the ball down the field. That's not the answer. So that needs addressing. But the other thing that needs addressing is us scoring a goal and then sitting back and then just giving it away, which we seem to do. We gave away a lead today, but that's where credit comes in. The changes were made in a positive manner today, and we went and won the game. So well done. I'm going to do a separate player ratings video, but do let me know in the comments and on Twitter your player ratings, or who you thought was outstanding, what you think Steve Bruce should do against Leeds United and against Fulham next week. We'll have a conversation down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you are new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, share it around. Let's grow the channel as well as we can. I am going to be starting another channel. I have put that out on my Twitter feed. It's called the Northeast Soccer Show, and it's going to cover all the Northeast teams on a weekly basis. We're going to do videos on the results, on reviews of games, previews of games, any breaking news from the Northeast clubs. So I'm very much looking forward to doing that. So that's going to be starting, I think, probably on Monday. We're going to do the first video for that. So if you're interested, do give it a follow on Twitter. It's at the NE Soccer Show. But if you go to my Twitter at the Toon Review, you'll see in my profile that I've put a link in there. So do go and follow that as well. But in the meantime, we can enjoy the rest of the weekend now. We've got 3 points. We can do what we want. It makes a change now. This is the second weekend that we've had 3 points. It's going well. It's going well. But thank you very much for watching. In the meantime, stay safe wherever you are, guys. Keep a lookout for the player ratings video and obviously the Premier League roundup I'll be doing on Monday as well. But in the meantime, stay safe and take care. Be strong.